Hey all, welcome this week. This week doesn't really have a topic. It's just sort of something that's been on my mind. So today I kind of got to thinking that about responsibility and whatnot and interaction. I don't know why I happen to be thinking about interaction with the world along with responsibility as an instructor, but it happened. So I had an experience once on a job where there was some faulty equipment on the job and I was injured pretty severely. I got a mild concussion due to it. And my trainer, who was also the most senior person to me at the company at the time of day, the bosses weren't there on that day, told me to just shake it off, don't worry about it, and never told anyone that it had happened. He also didn't bother to mention anything about the equipment that we were using being broken because, quote, it wasn't his responsibility after all, he didn't own it. Now, this person happens to have, happens still, I don't think it's changed, happens to have a low IQ and or be mid to low functioning autistic, like full-blown autistic. I don't know. I know as much. This is a while back, but this guy not really very functional. And the thing about it is that I noticed was that really got to me was he never took any responsibility for seeing to my injury. He never took any responsibility for the equipment being damaged, which I don't think he honestly damaged the equipment. He just never bothered to tell anyone when he received it that the equipment was broken. And this was a driving job. There was equipment within the vehicle that I got injured on. Now, this guy, there were many other problems within the vehicle, within a couple of vehicles in the fleet, and he didn't think it was his responsibility to mention any of the problems, or he didn't notice them. And what it got to me thinking was that he probably, and excuse me for anyone, he's probably too goddamn stupid to understand what's going on. That was my impression at the time. And the thing about him is it kind of struck me was being an Aspie is that we can never use our disabilities as reasons why other people get hurt, especially people that we have personally taken charge of or personally taken responsibility for, or people who've been given into our care. It's one thing if we get hurt because of our issues. It's quite another if somebody else gets hurt because of our issues. We can never let that be an excuse. Okay, it may be the reason, and an unfortunate one, but we can never let it be the excuse. We never go, it's not my fault, I have this disability, therefore don't blame me for his injury. That's not cool. It's not right. And this guy, well, I don't know if he did it actively, but passively, yeah. He never took responsibility, and I could have died. I could have had brain swelling. Who knows? At the worst case, obviously a mild concussion. Most times you're just fine. It really sucks that day. I remember that I was unsafe to drive. He had to drive that day. I was supposed to be driving to train that day. I also couldn't understand English for a few hours. I could speak it, apparently, but I couldn't understand it. And I was aware enough to look at people and say, I have a mild concussion, and right now nothing you're saying makes sense. I could hear them. I knew they were speaking words, but it was all gibberish as far as my brain was concerned. And I was in the inside going, I have a mild concussion. This really sucks. There's this, there's that. I could experience all of the side effects. I just couldn't do anything about it. And I've had a mild concussion more than once. I've been knocked out a few times, as I mentioned. And so just, yeah, we can never let that. The other thing is that how much an allegory is to my driving. I wrote this down today. How maybe driving for a living is an allegory for how I see the world. Hello. Everyone say hi. Hello. It's the girl coming in. The weather's nasty. She's all trying to stay warm. It's nasty out here. How maybe driving for a living is an allegory for how I see the world. Constantly moving, traveling, and visiting, but never joining, understanding, or belonging. And on my Facebook page today, I posted a little video. I posted a little meme about Asperger's syndrome is like living in a glass jar. You can see the world, you can talk to the world, but you can never quite fully interact with the world. That I wrote that down. I swear, the same day I saw that meme, and I went, "That's it. That's another perfectly valid expression of the idea that I'm going through life and I'm not quite connecting." I have this beautiful girlfriend, although she's all tucked up from having gone in her work clothes and whatnot, and the truth of our relationship is that as much as I love her and as much as she loves me, and say this is the very last relationship either one of us has, I will never be able to fully connect with her as much as an MT would. And that's something we're just going to live with. And maybe that's why I'm so attracted to driving, because it doesn't require me to interact with people as much. It just requires me to show up, do delivery, do whatever, and go. I worked for a international worldwide company, and I was to be the face of that company. And so I was basically supposed to not really talk to people, but also not push them off. It was a very delicate balancing act. Essentially, I didn't talk to anyone unless they talked to me, and then I didn't really push the conversation really far. I was very friendly, and I answered all their questions. I was very enthusiastic about the company, but I just wasn't going to push it, and that worked out pretty well. Unfortunately, it's a temp job. They really liked my work, and if they had kept me longer, they would have, but they couldn't. So those are my two thoughts for the week. Is we can never let our disability be the excuse, be the reason that someone placed in our charge, someone who we have responsibility over, gets hurt. I'm sure no Aspie, who is in the military and say is a squad leader in the Army or the Marines, would ever let their disability be the reason why one of their guys or girls got hurt. And that's the same thing. It's the same exact moral, ethical, and honorable belief. It is wrong to let us do that. The other thing is that not every Aspie is this way, but I'm certainly this way, that I will never be able to fully interact with the world around me. So fun. Anyway, so you all have a nice week, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.